My name's Joanne. I'm 18 years old and I've been living at the Y 2 years this November. Before that, I was living at my mum's, but sometimes I had to get out and find somewhere else to stay. As much as I love my mum to pieces, we struggled really badly living together. It was constant arguments, day in, day out. I was there as much as I could bear it, sort of thing, and then sometimes I had to stay at a friend's a few nights or stay somewhere else for a few nights, like just try and get out and escape somewhere else, because with my mental health, my mood fluctuates. I had a few places that I could go to for a short period of time, so if I needed a few nights where I just needed to escape, I was able to go there and then calm myself down and then go back home to my mum. Like, the places I went to stay weren't long term. They didn't help as well. Growing up in the Boko Flats, I deal with arson attacks and everything like that, so that didn't help situations. My mum, every time I walked out that door, I just hear my mum crying in the background, and it broke me. So I think that was one of mine and my mum's main problems, is that it weren't that I so much hated living with her, I hated the place where I was. That was one of the main reasons why it caused a few arguments between me and my mum, looking back at it now. I explained the struggles at college, I explained the struggles to a few friends of mine, and a couple of my friends turned around and said, enough's enough now. You can't keep doing this, it isn't fair on you and it isn't fair on your mum. So they suggested for me and my mum to go down to the council and actually have a chat with the council about it. They put me down as a risk of homelessness. It's been challenging living at the Y, and quite a bit, especially with having a load of mental health problems as well. But it's also surprised me with actually how well capable I am of living on my own. And it's my key worker that kind of pushed me and showed me in that sort of direction that I can do it. So yeah, it's difficult, but it teaches you how to be independent. I've got my own door. I can shut that door at any point in time I want. It's my own space, my own freedom. I can relax and I can chill out and have my own sort of time to myself without getting overwhelmed by everything. I think events like CBZ are important. It's a really good way to raise awareness and raise money, and it makes people more grateful as well. It makes them realise, oh, hang on a minute, like, I've got a nice house, I've got a nice flat, I've got all of this, and it makes people be a lot more grateful for what they have actually got as well. And I think that's one of the most important things, is to always be grateful for what you've got. People that it was in my situation when I was 17, trying to find somewhere to stay, like, especially people worse than me, because I always knew where I could sleep. And there's people out there who's had it a lot harder than me, and still have, right at this point in time, has got it a lot harder than what I had it, where they don't know where their next bed's going to come from, their next meal's going to come from. Especially in a pandemic, it puts them most at risk and makes them most vulnerable. I want the people to understand more about that with homelessness, it's not always a choice, it's not always, you've put yourself there, and it doesn't always have to be, oh, you're living on the streets as well. Everybody, when you say homelessness, everybody pictures somebody in a bag in the streets. It's not always like that. Sometimes it's going from sofa to sofa, sometimes it's finding your next meal, sometimes, like, or in my case, when I was at risk of being homeless, it was more of struggling to find your place in the world. It was struggling to find who you actually are. This September I'm going off to uni. I've already been accepted for a place up in London for screen acting studio films. My mum still supported me through everything. She always has. I know she always will, despite everything, despite the arguments, despite what happens. I know she will always be there. I believe that organisations like the YMCA are extremely important. It allows young people to not only to not struggle to be able to find the next bed, it gives them a place where they can always sleep. They always know that there's going to be a home, and it teaches them the life skills and the importance in life. And it also teaches you never to take anything for granted as well. And that's one of the big things I've learnt living on my own, and how many struggles you face with it. But it teaches you how to be independent, as I said, how to stand on your own 2 feet. And it also takes a weight off the world off your shoulders as well.